Hello and welcome back to Trainwreck. This is the weekly podcast hosted by Jack of One Trade that is just kind of going over everything. I mean, we chat about stuff.
Yep.
That's pretty much it, right?
Pretty much anything that is relevant in our lives, in the world, whatever basically feels right, and whatever's going to be genuine, I think.
Yeah, and also we go over some pretty irrelevant stuff too.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well,
babies don't drive cars. Wait for that segment later.
Airplanes, right? I mean, oh man.
Who eats airplanes? Huh?
I wish I had my crowd laugh button because that would have been.
I feel like on this one we can't bail.
Yeah. Because we've already bailed twice, and if we do it again...
Look, there's a very good chance we're just not going to be clever for one moment this entire podcast.
Deal with it. What do you want? It's the second episode.
But you know what? That's exactly why topics are important. So, we have some topics written down here where it looks like we're going to be going over... I guess Kevin had his first experience with Fortnite tonight.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah. I know nothing about Fortnite. I can't wait to hear you know nothing out loud about Fortnite.
Yep.
And I guess the gaming community in general. Now that motherfucker, I'm telling you right now, you're opening up a very dark and ugly can of worms if you're asking me to...
Exactly why I'm doing it. Because you know what? I thought to myself, I've talked ad nauseum.
We're talking video games, by the way. We're and like board games. We're talking about literally the most toxic people on the planet. I do love the gaming community, but I got some issues with you.
You know what? It's funny you mentioned that because just as you said that, and call me out on this if you feel it's necessary, but I kind of feel like everybody took that toxic monopoly energy and brought it into the gaming industry as a whole.
Like somebody grabs Park Place up early, and the person on the other end of that is the gaming community. Yeah. Just like, how the fuck did you pull Baltic already? This is why I don't like house rules. Fucking, yeah, man, the gaming community is something else. You also want me to talk about skelattack and do a promo. I mean, I don't...
If you want to, you don't have to.
Like, I mean, if it flows naturally into it, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a hard sell after I take a gigantic shit on the gaming community.
Yeah, but you know what, though, dude? You're the perfect person to do it. And we have no idea who the audience is going to be.
No.
Could be people from all walks of life. Maybe somebody out there is thinking about getting into the gaming industry. Maybe they already are in the gaming industry and they want to hear from somebody on the inside that's not looking to sell them a product at the moment.
Yeah,
because think about it. Can you really find somebody that is knowledgeable and is not trying to sell something at the end of their...
No, yeah, I mean, we're still in development, so, like, there's... Alright, well, anyway, it's a topic. I'm not going to get into it yet, but... And then I guess it's going to be kind of freeform from there, although we'll see, because I'm telling you right now, gaming community, that's going to be... I don't know if I'm going to pull actual, like, sources or anything, but, man, things have been crazy lately. Alright, yeah, so I guess we start with Fortnite. Fortnite, I'm going to let everybody know here, and I'm going to be, like, one of the 7 billion people on this planet that knows almost nothing about Fortnite. I know it's a battle royale game. I know that you get dropped into a map and that your goal is to basically be the last man standing. You're able to pick up weapons throughout, health throughout, and you have to watch out for your fellow player. I know that something starts coming in after a fashion, like some sort of like net that kind of closes the perimeter of the map off. After that, I'm relatively clueless.
Well, that's basically what I came across today. He tells me, like, dude, you know, I really want you to play this game. I want you to check it out. All I hear about is this damn game.
Me too.
I don't understand what the hype is about. Yeah. So I go, okay, let me download it, which that was a process in and of itself, dude. Installing Windows was not as long of a process as downloading this game was.
And it's not free on PS4, right? It actually costs money. I think for a while it was free on PC, but I don't know if it is anymore.
There's 2 versions of the game. Okay. One of them costs $50.
Fucking what?
I have no idea.
I mean, no, I guess I don't want to say that because I can see kind of the visual quality of the game. I suppose it's worth money.
Yeah, but this is like I've been trying to think of parallels for this game all day because it's got a Call of Duty aspect to it.
I have a direct parallel. I mean, I think if I'm mistaken, feel free to call me out. I think it was born off of the popularity of PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and then like there were a lot of games that were kind of leading up to that too. Like, so you had Arma 3, which was that was an open world military sandbox game. You had H1Z1 that came out. Actually, DayZ came out first. DayZ came out first, which was another open world, and that was a zombie game. H1Z1 was another open world zombie that ended up splitting into 2 different games, and it turned into a battle royale type of game too. And then I think Fortnite came after all of that plus PUBG, but Fortnite, for some reason, it snagged everybody.
Yeah. You know? Alright, man. Say what you want. Unpopular opinion. Drum roll, please. I don't understand what the hype is about.
Yeah.
I really don't.
It's just, to me, okay, so I'm going to be dead honest about this. I understand the game is visually really nice. Like, I'm not going to say it's not. I really like the aesthetic of the game. I like that there's base building mechanics. I like that there's almost hide and seek mechanics. I like that the map will close around you after a while. Like, I think that's really cool because it kind of forces everybody into one area and you have to fight like a really brutal fight. It makes me think right away of the movie Battle Royale, the Japanese movie, which I feel like was the inspiration for a lot of these games. And then also like a more modern inspiration would be the Hunger Games. But like this is my whole problem with it is that games keep making this. Game makers keep making the same game over and over again. So like PUBG and Fortnite, they mechanic wise and kind of the point of the whole thing is virtually indistinguishable from one another. Like, they're really not different.
I mean, I've never played PUBG. I've never even seen what it looks like. Yeah. So, just going into Fortnite alone, I can already tell you, okay, cool, you pick your character or the one that they give to you because from what I understand, you get something called V-Bucks. Which you dump real money into to get game currency, and that's how you get skins or whatever, and I'm assuming characters.
Yep, because this is the age of in-app purchases and microtransactions, which I cannot fucking wait for the revolution to come. You know, we're talking about the next topic being kind of the gaming community.
Yeah.
Let me get into the fucking development community, then you'll hear some real shit talking. But anyway, yeah, microtransactions are fucking bullshit. In-app purchases are fucking bullshit. When I pay for a game, I expect to get the whole goddamn game right there front and center.
Exactly.
But go ahead.
Like, dude, okay, I click the button to go. Immediately, I am greeted by a blimp or a plane of some sort, and then to which there's a countdown where I have to press the spacebar button to jump out of the plane. We're already Call of Duty-esque, right? So you press the button, and then your guy is on a fucking hang glider. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know the buttons like I didn't, I'm sitting in front of the computer for 5 minutes waiting for this asshole to touch the ground. When does the game start?
Yeah, there's I think there's so I know I've watched other people play the game. There's definitely a way to speed up your descent and to like kind of navigate yourself toward like, I guess, what you're considering the most ideal part of the map, whether it's because you know that it ends up getting packed out with resources or because there's less players landing there so you have more time to kind of gather resources. I love the thought of you just like everybody's already into the action like 30 seconds in and they're watching this one floaty moron fucking go all the way across the map and back.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I have it on we did a live stream today and I'm pretty sure that's recorded in the live stream on Twitch somewhere.
I got it. Oh, you did Twitch?
Yeah.
Oh, nice, man. Awesome.
So I put a content over there, dude. But I was mad. I was literally looking at Spencer, going, "Dude, what the fuck is this? What do you have me doing right now?" What is like, dude? Once you hit the ground, the game is cool. Like, all right, first of all, that's not a good way to start out an argument because you already have to try to punch up
No, I disagree. You know what? I'm on Spencer's side, and I'll tell you why. Because I give the same argument when it comes to TV shows.
Okay.
Like, I'll say, dude, if you can make it through the first season, the second season's where it really kicks off.
All right, that's fair.
I'll give credence to that argument. The only thing is, my favorite part of Fortnite so far is the hang gliding. Like, yeah. I played it. I played it for like 2 fucking seconds once because my girlfriend was playing it.
Yeah.
And the second I touched the fucking ground, I was tapped out. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm a sucky player. You can say that. But, like, I got tapped out, and then you're just fucking sitting there the rest of the game.
Was it now they have, when I downloaded it today, they have immediate respawns now. Which
really?
I guess that wasn't always a thing.
I guess not, yeah.
But when I put the video up on my YouTube channel saying that we were going to be doing live stream over on Twitch, I forgot to turn that off again because I'm an asshole. I completely lost. Wait a minute, I'll get it back. It's coming. It's creeping into the light slowly. That's what it was. Somebody commented and said,
holy shit, can I just say, you are the first person to actually get it back by talking about getting it back. That is magic.
Where somebody commented, it was like, dude, that's not really my style of game just because how competitive everybody is.
Yeah,
to where I guess like the second that you spawn, they're looking to shoot you in the head. And that's the end of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as far as gameplay is concerned, I don't have a controller. Using the keyboard, you have to use the arrow buttons and numbers and letters to be able to switch items. And your mouse is to shoot, and then you move around with your mouse, and the view is by that also.
Yeah.
So that's already all put in, but if I had a controller, okay, that might be different. So now we get into gameplay, and you can literally... You build a fucking fort around yourself, which I think is the reason why they titled the game that, because that's your objective.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a defense thing, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't get it. Like, okay, but
I think
I'm not...
Cool. Go ahead.
I'm not a kid, though. It wasn't marketed for me. That was for somebody that wants to lose themselves in a game for a couple hours and still have social interaction with other people.
Yeah, like I understand the base building concept. I also understand the running around and freeform shooting concept. I understand the almost tower defense concept when it comes to building the fort and stuff. You're talking about combining the fundamental mechanics of a lot of very popular games. So you're talking about taking the open world and crafting aspect of Minecraft, and then you're taking the shooter aspect from obviously Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, Tom Clancy's The Division, and like really kind of super popular shooters like that. I get why this game is popular. I'm not stupid as to why. I am admitting that I have a very closed off mind when it comes to stuff like this, though, because I really am fucking sick of the cloning aspect of the gaming industry. I think a lot, and it's a clone. It's a really good clone, and it's a clone that, granted, sets itself apart heavily from games like PUBG, but it's still a clone.
With the amount of technology that's out there right now, and you can... Look, feel free to disagree with me all you want, but the reason why... And I'm not even doing this to try to get a plug in here, but the reason why I like skelattack so much is because... When I look at that game, I don't think about anything else other than what is directly in front of me and what I'm playing.
It's a broad... So, I'll talk real about that. I'll also make a really weird dinging noise. Like, I did that with my mouth. I'm working on sounding like a Windows computer and a cell phone. So I hope you guys are digging my impressions tonight. But anyway... I'll fully admit, skelattack and basically any other 2D platformer, right there, the fact that I can even say that, it falls under a definitive genre. Like, broad stroking it, I can say that it definitely takes inspiration from a lot of other retro 2D platformers. Like, it definitely grabs inspiration from Legend of Zelda, Super Mario, like a lot of even Sonic the Hedgehog to some effect. And then what's really funny is the builder of the game, the guy that made the game, Dave Stanley, he makes this gorgeous hand-drawn illustration and animation for the game. Yeah. So all of that stuff you see on the screen, he drew that first, and then he animated it.
You can see it. Which is
insane considering when he started making it. He started making it back in 2015. Yakuza, my company, picked it up in, I think it was 2017. to publish it and also to kind of bring it in-house and make it a bigger production studio. What the game ended up getting compared to a lot, we flew out to PAX South in 2018. Yeah, at the beginning of 2018, we went out to PAX South in San Antonio. And the game got so heavily compared to another game called Cuphead. And it was really funny because before that had ever even happened, I said to Shane, I said, you know what? Shane, of course, being the CEO of Yakuza.
Yeah.
I said to him, you know what we should do when we build the pitch deck for this to actually like position it to other studios and stuff, we should make the comparison to Cuphead. We said, because it's there. Like, it's another beautiful hand-drawn cartoonish 2D action game.
So wait, when people make the comparison, that's not the same as saying that it's a clone, though.
No. Actually, well, I happen to know that we had a couple comments come in. I don't remember where. I don't know if it was YouTube or on one of the PC Gamer articles that we got written about us, but somebody actually said like, or no, it was at PAX. It was definitely at PAX. We heard somebody behind us when we were at the display. They were like, this is just a Cuphead ripoff. And so first of all, sir, if you're out there somewhere, thank you. Because being compared to fucking Cuphead, so much so that you think it's a ripoff, we really appreciate it. Dave had no fucking clue what Cuphead was when he was making this game. And I know that because he told me that in private conversation. Like, it's not something we worked up for him to say in public so that, like, people stopped thinking it. Like, legitimately, he was like, dude, I didn't even fucking know what Cuphead was. And it actually used to annoy him that he got it compared to Cuphead.
Yeah, because he's like, dude, this is my own game. Yeah. I'm not trying to make somebody else's. I get that 100%.
I mean, he was never like nasty about it. He was never. Dave is the farthest thing from a prick.
But as an artist, though, when you're making something completely original and unique in your own mind, and somebody takes it and just goes, looks like that over there. Yeah. You're like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I made this thing.
You want to say that the whole time.
Yeah, like, I breathe life into this. What are you talking about?
But I also that's a short-sightedness that artists have, right? Like,
100%.
And I'm not saying that about Dave in particular. I'm saying that about every artist. Mm-hmm. To be an artist, you have to have already been inspired and enlivened by other people's art.
Yeah. So,
like, no matter what you're creating, you're almost always biting off a portion. Did it get better? Like, I sound better with that, right?
Yeah,
like
definitely.
that was a nice clear ding, you know
definitely.
What I mean?
And you did it right in between two words, which is impressive.
It's like when the guy's drinking water and the puppet sings. It's crazy. But I'm going to fucking throw your computer out of 5 windows to make sure I get the job done. Anyway, yeah, like the comparison, I mean, you're always going to get hit a little bit hard when you get compared to something.
How's that for a new tab?
What? Oh, leave. It's time to gather myself. Let's see if I can talk myself back into remembering what I was talking about. So like, it's that, it goes back to that saying about like the greatest, imitation is the greatest form of flattery, right. You know? But it's not that, right? Like, it's just every artist takes a piece from some other kind of art that they've loved. Yeah. And they bring it into their own work and they make it their own. Yeah. So, like, it ended up becoming a great compliment to us. Like, we ended up loving hearing it. Dave ended up loving hearing it. Like, it's
because he realizes, and not that he was being shitty about it, but that insecure part of every artist, he must have looked and been like, well, you know what? The fact that we're being compared to something that everybody likes so much is a good thing.
This is what I'm saying. Like, if we heard somebody behind us say, like, oh man, this is a ripoff of the Nintendo version of Home Alone, like, we'd be like, oh my god, we have to start from the beginning. Like, to get compared to a game like Cuphead is so fucking flattering. It's great. And even though that dude walked away angry about it, we were like, that fed us the rest of the day. We were like, that's fucking great.
You know, I don't understand. I mean, now I don't know shit about games, but, and correct me because I'm sure I'm wrong, but when you design shit in a game, aren't there only so many avenues that you can go down where there's gonna be some resemblance of something somewhere, even if you don't try?
So I'm gonna hold out some kind of twisted optimism and say I still think that the mold can be broken. I don't think it has been yet. I don't think a game's come out that has really like super broken the mold beyond anything that we've ever seen. But I do think that there's room there for something revolutionary to happen. That being said, yeah, I mean, there's going to be similarities simply because there's a lot of what I was talking about before, very well-defined genres in games.
Yeah.
So, like, you have your Sims of the world, you have your RPGs, you have your 2D platformers, you have your 3D platformers. You can even break it down by, like, really hardcore main genre, like sci-fi, fantasy, action, drama, romance. Like, there are things, there are presets there that games tend to ascribe to, but... when it comes to breaking the mold, it's very difficult because you kind of have to move with the technology that's available too.
Yeah.
So, like, I know the day is going to come where you're not just, like, we're already moving into virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality applications.
Which is scary, by the way.
What do you think scary about it? No, you know what? Diversion. What do you think is scary about virtual reality and augmented reality?
Dude, like, all right, first of all, people have... I can't believe I'm about to lean on this argument because the legs are shaky beneath it. But people already have paranoia issues and problems with connecting to the reality that they're in now. When everybody starts shoving these things onto their eyeballs and they live in this separate world 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And I also think that leads us down a deeper, darker road of microchips and everything else, which you can say always, like the little nanobot things, that'll be good for disease and technology and all that shit, but it's scary to me, man. Maybe it's because it's different, and I didn't think that this was going to evolve this quickly.
You know what? You're making me... So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write down something for you here, and I want you to look this up on your off time. You don't have to do it now.
Yeah.
But it's something called transhumanism, because you're talking like the most doom prophet people in the transhumanist movement about, like, when the singularity happens. There's something in transhumanism called the singularity, and the singularity is
when
basically...
robots and people are one?
No, actually, it's when robot intelligence surpasses human intelligence. Completely. And that's what they're scared of. They think that they're going to be able to control us because they're going to be they're going to be infinitely smarter than we are. Dude, you're on that script.
Well,
and I'm talking about being able to...
iRobot shit, dude. And I'm not saying that they're gonna fuck it. They're not gonna... I don't think they'll be smarter than us, but because they don't have to worry about emotions, they could be far more calculated than we are, and they would probably get things done with more precision.
So let me throw in here that everything that's said on this podcast is opinion.
Yep.
Because I don't want anybody coming... Like, I don't want some transhumanist expert coming after me about what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say this. There is literally no point at which I can imagine robots taking over humankind. And the reason I say that is because they have a power on, power off switch and we don't.
Okay, what about governments, though? Since we're going down this dark road, I say we go all the way.
What about, like, being able to, like, implant subconscious fucking shit in you or something?
No. Like, okay, they have bombs and shit, right? So who's to say they can't send... And as I'm saying this, I realize how dumb it sounds,
right,
but...
Let's hear this, Kevin Jones.
If they don't have... If they have the on and off switch thing... Oh, man. It just kind of fell apart. It fell apart. The point is, though, that you don't think that power could be abused, is what I'm trying to say simply.
Any power can be abused at any time.
Okay.
This is the thing, like... To live in fear of tech is to deny tech and to ignore tech. And I'm not saying this to be disparaging. You have to understand that. But, like, if there were people like you at the forefront of technology would end up standing still.
Yeah. But, like, I don't get me wrong. I think robotic arms and legs and shit, like, that's a good thing that is happening. That's a great application. And I guess you can make the counter argument to that. Whereas if you're fine with that, then really that should be the thing that you're most afraid of. Right, because that's the stepping stone of all of it happening. And if that doesn't freak you out, I mean, it did for a while. But... I
mean, but the fears that you're bringing up and the worries that you're bringing up, what is controlling all of this tech? It's people. Humans.
Yeah.
You're scared of people.
Human error.
You're scared of what people can do.
Yeah.
So tech is not inherently scary. It's people that are inherently scary. Like, the people could. I'm not going to sit here and say that somebody couldn't take something completely benign and not
Make it a
harmful at all
horrible thing.
and make it horrible.
Yeah.
That being said, there are also chances, well, not chances, there are definitives on the other end of it where, just like you were saying, I just read a report today. I can't remember. I don't know if it was on it was on MSN or Yahoo or something, but the very first successful stem cell transplant just happened in somebody with that was paralyzed.
Oh shit.
And now they have upper body movement again.
Oh shit.
Like that's tech to me. That's the side and look, I understand I'm choosing to look at the benevolent side of tech, but really that's what you're going to see more than anything. Now, if you want to talk about scary realities in tech, rather than robot uprisings and the government planting chips in you, I'm worried about what it's going to mean for human jobs. I'm worried about what it's going to mean for how many people are going to have access to it because of how expensive a lot of this tech is going to be.
Well, see, that's the other thing, too, is, all right, right to your first point, human jobs, which if you go to any grocery store or gas station like a Wawa or a Quick Check or Winn-Dixie or whatever you have wherever you are, self-checkouts seem to have a longer line in some places than the cashiers do now. So I can see that end of it. And then the other end of it is there's a big problem with the fact that I can't. My phone is always obsolete. Every day that goes by, this thing gets pushed further into the archaic days. And when you can't afford to update all this new shit, but they're making it, I mean, at least it's been spoken about that Apple kind of admitted softly that they force you into the technology grades.
Well, yeah. And you're going to, again, this is a human-related issue. That's something that's actually well documented. It's called planned obsolescence, and it's been happening for. I mean, it's got to be over 2 decades now. Where one of the greatest examples outside of tech is you talk about like old muscle cars. Actually, old cars in general, really, like the Buicks and the Oldsmobiles of the world. Those things were fucking tanks. I know people that are still driving around in old-ass Buicks because they were built to last.
Yeah. And
cars aren't built to last anymore.
No.
They got
styrofoam in the bumpers now.
Almost everything is built to last a period of between 5 to 10 years now.
See, here's my counter argument to that. I don't understand. You would think if you give me a product and you say this thing is supposed to last 20 years, and even if it lasts me 15, I'm going to come back to you because your product was reliable and I know I can trust you. Yeah. But as I understand, as a business, you're looking at that and going, well, there's 10 years that we don't have profit coming through our door. But at the same time, if you're building something and you say I can get 15 years out of it and it lasts for 5, you're still losing business anyway.
Well, this is the problem with, there's not a lot of innovative thinking in sales-based places. Like, forced obsolescence is a thing, planned obsolescence, rather, is a thing. Because rather than them come up with secondary and tertiary services that they can continuously give to you and have you pay for, they want you to come back and buy that very expensive product all over again really quickly. So that's why planned obsolescence is a thing. They want you to continuously feed that side of the market. Now, we all know that there's a shitty end of it for the people that are doing the planned obsolescence, and that's that a lot of people, myself included, are going to look at the brand that took a shit in 5 years and they're going to say, I'm going to try a different brand this time around.
Exactly.
But that's not the common case. Most times they'll say, you know what? I'm glad this one lasted me a full 5 years. I'm going to go right back to this company because I know I'll get at least 5 years out of this.
That's so crazy that you're giving them the green light to say, fuck me for another year.
But you know what? We are going to go to the extreme of cell phones. That's, again, this is a planned obsolescence thing, and since they can't make it so that the phone literally takes a shit in 9 to 12 months, what they're doing is they're getting rid of your ability, for instance, to replace the battery. So you can no longer replace the battery. It's part of a unified system now.
I had an LG Power X that was like that versus the LG Stylo that I have here, and this phone is at least probably a year or two before the Power X, dude. And the difference between the two, just knowing that I can't take that battery out makes me paranoid already.
Yeah.
The fact that I can't see it, and then I gotta replace the whole fucking thing, dude.
Yeah.
Who has the fucking money for that?
Well, and now this brings me to the biggest thing, and this is why planned obsolescence works. This is why every 6 months when a new cell phone is churned out, every 6 months when a new Call of Duty is churned out, every 6 months when a new this, that, the other thing is churned out. The reason people go and get it is it's a little 4-letter fucking abbreviated thing called FOMO, FOMO, which stands for fear of missing out. That's how they hook you. They get you with the FOMO because they're gonna know that eventually you're gonna hang out with one of your friends. You're gonna be sitting there with the Samsung,
and you're gonna be old
6, and they're gonna have the Samsung 7 in their hands, and you're gonna be like, motherfucker, they got it before I did. I missed it. Like, so the next time around, you're going to upgrade to the latest and greatest. As a matter of fact, there's a chance you're going to fucking wait another 6 months so that you can get the latest because you're going to know that they still have 2 years left on their fucking phone before it's paid off.
That's so crazy.
So it's FOMO, dude. Everything is fucking FOMO, and it is such an amazing psychological tool to use for sales. You are going to miss out on this next greatest thing if you don't buy it now.
So then, here's the question that I have to the business aspect of all this, and maybe you can shed some light on it. But okay, so we know that we're going to up the models, which is going to make the price go higher. By making the price go higher, we're cutting out a large end of our demographic who we know don't have that money. But do we expect the people that do have it to just make up double the dollars, or is the people are going to do whatever they have to get their hands on that money?
You just kind of called it. That's what it is. Like, people are going to do what they need to do in order to get that next newest best thing. The other way that, in particular, since we're on cell phones, the way that cell phone companies have started working, I'm sure you've noticed that they've gotten rid of the 2-year contract.
Yep.
Like, that's not a thing anymore, where it's like, okay, you sign up with us, you only have to pay
X amount of dollars.
Maybe
$500, and you buy one.
And that's
get one
free.
free.
But that's the phone. That's it.
Yeah.
So, like, whereas the phone retails for maybe, let's say, $850, $900, you're only paying $200 for it from a carrier.
But that's because
you're paying off the service for 2 years.
And they know that 6 months down the line, you're gonna want to go get the new shit anyway. I mean, they're leasing phones like cars now.
Well, no, see, that's what fucked people was the 2-year contracts. You weren't able to trade in until the end of that contract because one of those payments that you were making was toward the phone itself. So even though you paid $200 at the store, you were inevitably paying that $850, $900 when
just
the 2-year contracts were around.
Yeah.
Now what you're fucking doing is, and it's brilliant, honestly, and actually I think it's a little bit better for customers, is they're telling you, no, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be buying the entire phone. Like, when you're here, you're buying it. But we're gonna give it to you at a monthly rate instead. So you're gonna pick up the phone, and instead of having to pay $200 on the spot there, you're only having to pay, if you're already with the carrier, for instance, you're only having to pay like $30-$40 on the spot. And then from there, they're going to add that amount to your bill monthly, and you're going to pay that bill for as long as you need. Sometimes they even have service plans where it's like, okay, a new phone comes out in 18 months. You can break your payment early, and trade in and get the newest phone. So that's how it's working now. That's a little bit better for consumers, especially with how fast new phones are coming out. But still, it is driven, and how could it not be? We live in a capitalist country. It is driven purely by continuous profit, a continuous revenue stream for these companies.
I really don't think it's capitalism, though. Like, not as much as they try to make it seem like it is, because the smaller people that are trying to run businesses get crushed by the bigger ones, and then it's left like that.
Well, that's capitalism. That's what it is. It's whoever's the biggest and the best in the what's the word I'm looking for? In the free market. That's
shitty,
that's
though,
what it is.
dude.
Well, of course it's shitty. And you have companies that get near monopoly, like the Walmarts of the fucking world, but they never actually topple over into.
Yeah.
You know, because they make sure not to, but they're killing every mom and pop fucking clothing store and retail shop on the street.
You can't find it. The only ones left, it seems like, are thrift stores.
We are so bad at sticking to a topic. This was supposed to be about Fortnite. Do you realize that? I
completely forgot that Fortnite was even brought up.
This is like a fucking Eddie Izzard comedy special. Like, he'll just be, so anyway, lizards. Like,
Did
he'll
I
go
leave
back.
the stove on?
Yeah. No, I'm a fucking squirrel. So we're gonna do better with this over time. I promise you. Like, this is still a refined process. We're shooting off at the mouth also about a bunch of shit we don't really know about expertly.
Plus, it's like a genuine conversation.
Yeah, like it ended up. That's what I was gonna say. Like, this ended up turning into like a legit convo now. Like, I forgot we were getting recorded. Like, I'm just looking at the screen. I'm like, look at the pretty blue lines. Wonder what those are for. Oh. Fortnite. Okay, so listen, this is anyway. That was so super interesting. Wow, look at how much these two know. Anyway, Fortnite is another thing. It utilizes microtransactions and in-app purchases, and it's because the new model in games. Oh, you know what? It is kind of connected. I don't feel too bad about this. The new model in games and gaming in general is to create a continuous revenue stream off of a one release product.
Yeah, but that's. I mean, from a business perspective. It makes money. Yeah, but it is garbage in the sense that, like, dude...
games can't work like that. Straight up, they can't work like that forever.
No, charge me $2, $5 for a game, give me the whole fucking game, and just end it. And then, sure, you want to have extra...
$2 to $5. Where do you think you're buying from?
I don't know. I'm just throwing. Are
you talking about mobile?
yeah, mobile games.
Okay, yeah,
like a mobile game.
Okay,
I'm not saying like premier PC games like a Doom or some shit like that. That would be way more money, and that shows how dated I am. That's the first. When you say computer game, the first thing that comes to my mind is Doom.
There's a new Doom coming out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Whoa, it is very rare that you get to see somebody that's such an expert level mime that they've learned how to throw themselves under a bus. That's crazy. What is that noise that keeps going off?
Now I put my phone on silent, so the tablet said, "Dude, I gotta make some noise in here."
Anyway,
interrupt them.
So yeah, the whole. I mean, it's not like a big secret, and it's not like an amazing achievement or anything or an innovative piece, but like what a lot of these game companies have figured out is, okay, we can create a continuous revenue stream in a one-time release game by giving that constant FOMO feeling. And the way that they do the FOMO thing with gaming is, okay, yeah, that's absolutely fine. You can play the game for free or for the original price that you paid for, but you're going to miss out on all of these things that other people are going to have. So, like, you'll be running around, especially, like, look at games like Overwatch and stuff. You'll see the characters on screen, and they'll have skins that they bought. They'll have skins that they purchased that you don't have. And as the other player, you're going to say, all right, they what the fuck? They're all decked out, and I'm not. So now I kind of want to get those skins, too. So then you're going to go to the market, and you're going to buy them, too, just to keep up with the other players that you're playing with.
Clash of Clans, I think, is another big one.
Holy shit, do not get me into mobile. Do not. I'm telling you right now, not only will this podcast last 3 fucking hours, but I am going to sound like I want a legitimate holocaust to happen on these developers.
Like, dude, I'll be honest, and I'm only speaking about mobile because I just got a computer in here and I've been out of touch for a long time, but there have been games that I played on mobile that I have uninstalled and just never looked at again because of the fact that it's so heavily dependent on spending real money. Like, I can't walk through the world and spend Disney dollars, dude. Yeah. McDonald's isn't gonna take my fucking fake poker chips when I'm looking to get something to eat.
Well, this is what I'm talking. We're in the age of people paying premium prices
for
digital only items that will never ever benefit them or function with any sort of real value in the real world.
And I think that for me, a lot of this shit goes back to even music, dude, with CDs. Like, okay, I get everybody is streaming now and doing all this shit, but I miss the days of the hard copy when you could hold it in your hand.
Well, that's because we used to own things.
Yeah, it seems like nothing's real anymore.
You know, there's no ownership, and so you're talking about also just being in the digital distribution realm where you're purchasing a game off of a platform like Steam or GOG, which GOG. They get a lot less hate from me because at least they're digital rights management free. Like, they actually let you keep the game whether or not you're using their client. But then you look at like EA Origin, which is another kind of Steam kind of fucking distribution platform. You can keep that one and put it under your pillow tonight. And what you end up getting is you've paid money for something that you're never actually going to own. Whereas back in the day, during the Genesis era and the Super Nintendo era, the N64 era, when you had to go out, even PlayStation and Xbox 360, you had to go out to a store, you had to buy a physical disc and put this disc into the player. That was your game. You were able to take that game then and say, hey, to one of your friends, this is a good game, you should try it, borrow it for the weekend. Like, that was proof.
Yeah.
That was proof that you owned it. Like, because you were able to do that. You were able to distribute it amongst other people because you paid the price that they asked you to pay.
Right. Now, on the flip side of that, digital is better in the sense that, like, okay, I don't have to worry about scratching the shit out of this CD and it not working anymore, but at the same time, the word of mouth of advertising is pretty much non-existent now when it comes to shit like that.
Oh, no, I don't think that's true. God, man, you make me feel like such a contrarian. No, I don't think that's true. I think word of mouth is never going
changed?
Yeah, it's just, the medium has changed.
Yeah.
So, like, instead of like being in a room with 7 people watching you play a game and you being able to say, "Isn't this game badass?" and they're like, "Yeah, it's badass. I want to get a copy." That's word of mouth promotion.
Everybody go downloads in there.
Well, now you have forums and you have blogs and you also have like the comment section in a lot of these places like Steam where it's like people give it a thumbs up. Oh man, the graphics were so good and the storyline is so great and I love how these two characters end up getting together and stuff like this. You're still getting that word of mouth promotion. However, I will say that word of mouth promotion has become way trickier when it comes to figuring out if it's authentic or not.
Yeah.
Because a lot of companies, what they'll do is they'll fucking pay people to leave positive reviews online.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
So hey, listen. I mean,
if it works, great.
You get rid of being able to fucking do the physical word of mouth promotion. Like, people are going to do what they need to do to fucking succeed, right? I mean, that everybody wants to make the dollar at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, that's true. And
I don't defend it, but I understand it.
No, I get it too. But I mean, I was just going to say, like, I think that really doesn't apply to me because I'm not going to, if I'm thinking about going out and buying something, I'm calling everybody that I know first to see if they have...
Yeah, to see if they've experienced something with it before.
Yeah, because that's how I know. It's either going to be, I've never heard it before or seen it, whatever, or it was terrible, or you know what, I've never heard of that, we should go check it out together, maybe it's something that we could both use.
Yeah.
That's completely different. I would never trust the internet to give me an opinion on something that I'm thinking about investing money into. Never.
Yeah, for me, it depends on the source. Like, if I know, and you just know sometimes, like, if it's a source, if I'm seeing a lot of like really positive reviews for something on a source that I trust. So don't ask me what that is right now. I have no clue what it is right now. But like if there was say the Amazon reviews, if they were totally legit, even though they're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if that was a legit trusted like review source, that would be enough for me for sure.
It seems like when I go through Amazon reviews, like I was just looking at buying a battery for this phone. I keep lifting it up like you can see it. But it seems that when I'm going through the reviews and the comments, all the ones that are positive, I just put off to the side like they're not real, and I only take in the negative ones because I figure that those are going to be the ones that are the most honest.
Well, and it's really funny because that's been in several news pieces that I've read online is everybody tends to gravitate toward the negative first when it comes to the reviews.
Because you want to see how bad it's going to be because they could be making up the positives.
Yeah. So reviews in and of themselves are unreliable to that extent because human psychology dictates you're going to look at the worst part of something before you look at the great part of something when you're left independently to do so.
Definitely.
It's very different than somebody walking up to you on the street, seeing that you bought something and they're like, "Hey man, I have that at home and it's fucking great," or "Hey man, I got that, what I would do? Turn tail right now and fucking return it. It's a piece of shit."
That happens occasionally if you're going down the right street and you run into the right person. Yeah. But I will say to people, like, dude, I've told this story a few times. I don't think I've said it in any of these forums, but when I was a Verizon customer a long time ago, fuck those people, they suck. But anyway, I was in there looking for a new phone. There was an older couple that was looking to buy a Bluetooth, and you probably will remember the Jawbone.
Oh yeah,
Bluetooth.
Yeah.
And this lady was trying to sell this old couple that, and I had a Jabra, which is the low totem pole and Bluetooth. That's just very
it was like
basic.
$20 or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I had one of those, and I'm like, dude, it works fine. So when the sales lady walked away, I heard the lady saying to her husband, like, dude, this is really expensive. I don't know if I want to pay like $300.
I remember you telling me this story.
A Bluetooth.
Yeah.
And I told them, like, look, man, this one's $20, this one's $300, and this one's gonna work just as well as your $300 one.
Yeah.
And I use it. I have it in right now. Works perfectly fine. When that lady came over and found out that I did that, the people I was talking to thought that I worked in the Verizon store. The saleswoman was pissed. I mean, they do work off commission. I didn't know that at the time. So she was really upset at me. And the guy behind the counter was trying to give me a fucking job just because he's never seen anybody do that before. But I mean, I think that is the best. Like, you went from, I helped you. Well, you're not going to get the commission you thought you were going to get. That lady was not going to buy that product. She didn't need it.
Well, and now that's, so you're leading into, so now we get to talk about marketing. Because, okay, so now because of how competitive the marketplace is for a lot of these different products, especially when they're very similar, and because of how inauthentic or sometimes downright untrustworthy a lot of reviews are and things like this, and even a lot of brands are, what a good company is going to do is they are going to have a solid, what's known as inbound marketing strategy. Which means, because it's not outbound marketing anymore. Traditional marketing was also known as outbound marketing. So that was you cold calling people, trying to say, hey, have you heard the good news about this new vacuums? Hey, and like trying to get people door to door, canvassing. That's outbound marketing. Inbound marketing, instead, because think about outbound. Outbound is going out to try to sell something to somebody.
These people are in your house already.
Yeah, inbound, you're bringing them in instead. And the way that you're doing that, if you know how a brand is going to sell things nowadays is if
listen to your microphone on your phone and advertise it to you everywhere that you can see it.
They're going to tell, not, you know what it starts with? It starts with a compelling story.
Yeah.
So they're going to tell the story of their brand.
I built this brand in whatever year, and we've come from the ground up, and we're a family-owned business.
Yeah, a lot of like aspirational conversation. They're also going to prove something called thought leadership. That's another thing you can look up with marketing and stuff. Which thought leadership is exactly what it sounds like. You're able to communicate what something is to somebody in a casual way, but if they are fucking good at what they do and they know exactly what they want to ask about your product, you're going to be able to tell them all of the technical ins and outs as well. You're going to prove that you are a knowledge like prodigy when it comes to that thing.
So you're basically convincing them that this product is the best one on the market that you're going to want.
And the reason why I can guarantee you it's the best one is because the person you're talking to right now knows fucking everything about this technology.
That makes sense.
So, and that, by the way, it works and it's supposed to work. Those are the companies that deserve the business because they're actually taking time to help you understand what their product does. Yeah. They're also telling you when they have fuck-ups, when they have pitfalls, when something was designed poorly. Look at Samsung. Look at what fucking Samsung just did. What was it, 2 or 3 years ago? They had phones exploding in people's fucking faces.
Yep.
Did you see Samsung sales fucking end?
No.
Are they no longer a company? They're thriving still.
Yeah.
And it's because you know what they ended up fucking doing? Of course they scrambled to recall them and all this, but they didn't
hide it.
Yeah, they didn't make it a secret. They were panicking out loud in real time, and they were like, "We're so sorry."
I like that.
So do I.
I like that. Look, I know I'm a person, I'm gonna fuck shit up occasionally. Even if you're a corporation and you're faceless, there is still a human being. And look, to real quick bring a call back to the robots, we can easily say corporations are exactly that, so what is there really to be afraid of? We've already seen the worst of it.
Yeah.
But still, even the fact that they're able to come out and be like, okay, so we don't mean to hurt anybody. It was not intentional. We fucked up. We owned it, and we're gonna fix it. Yeah. I think if anything, that puts you in better standing to admit you made a mistake than to try to just cover it up altogether.
I think a company is infinitely more forgivable if they if they own what they did and they advance themselves past that and they say, okay, we're obviously what we're gonna do is we're gonna upgrade our testing centers. We're gonna make sure that there's so much scrutiny on these products before they actually go out and launch into the world.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what Samsung did. So they're still a fucking trusted company. These companies now don't get it twisted. By the way, here disclaimer, everybody. I don't know if you knew this. Incoming news bulletin. They're all still trying to get as much money from you as possible. That's how capitalism works.
And nobody in this house owns a Samsung. I can tell you that right now.
I own a Google Pixel, and I wish I never bought it. But anyway, no, we're not going to get sponsored by Google. Fuck, we were never going to get sponsored by Google. No, we'll be lucky if we get a dildo. Yeah. Well, like
Google be the one to send it to us.
But advertise this, asshole. So like my overarching point is like, even though that's true, even though everybody's out for the dollar, there are companies that get it in a good way, because the whole thing is like you would be tempted, right? You would be tempted to say, okay, well, if I know this about marketing, I work in marketing. I've studied marketing now for the past several years. And even still, there are moments where I want to say, okay, well, marketing is just, it's genuinely disingenuous. It's you're like, look, you're pretending to be benevolent to get me to buy. But the thing is, you can't fake that. You actually can't fake it. You have to be able to be a person to other people.
Yeah.
To me, the best marketers and ultimately the best products that use marketing, they have people on their team that are actually empathetic people. They have genuine empathy. They know how to treat human beings like human beings.
It's almost like you're trying to pick somebody up at the end of the night at a bar. Like, look, we both know what I'm trying to do right now.
Yeah, you're talking about, in a generalized way, you're talking about charisma.
Yeah.
Obviously, that has to be there. You're not selling shit without charisma.
Well, no, yeah, I know that, but I'm saying, like, all right, look, we both know I'm coming in with a sales pitch, but my job is to make you forget that it's a sales pitch and just get you to focus on what you need to do to get this into your house.
Not even necessarily forget that it's a sales pitch. A lot of the time, actually, I prefer to know when a company is giving me a sales pitch.
Definitely.
But if they're selling something that has actual value, and if they're honest about the product, if they know that they have competitors that stand up next to them, but they have a little bit of edge on them, even if that edge is just how they communicate with their consumers, I'll fucking choose them over maybe even the superior product, because I like the way they conduct themselves. I like the cut of their jib better than I like the other company.
Definitely, I can agree with that.
So that's everything now. A lot of the corporations, when it comes to inbound marketing, what they're doing is they're creating a personality for their brands. It's actually called a brand voice. That's another marketing term. It's creating a brand voice. So you decide what your brand's voice is going to be. And that's going to include everything from tone to inflection to conversational style. And then you get into the bigger things like color palette, logo design, like the different kinds of fonts you're going to use for your pages, what's going to make people comfortable, what's going to create a sense of urgency in them when you create the call to action at the bottom of the page to get them to actually click back over to click over and become a conversion and ultimately a sale. Like all of this stuff is considered now, and it falls under the banner of general user experience.
This podcast is going to cost you $10.99.
Like, I'm not giving away anything crazy. And the thing about digital marketing is you're always learning digital marketing. There's never dead air. You like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that one was savory. It was almost had a nice effervescent finish.
I sat right here and just watched it happen.
Yeah, and I just mispronounced effervescent with effervescent because I'm fucking Sean Connery. What time does Sean Connery show up at the Wimbledon games? 10-ish. Anyway.
Hold on.
Yeah. No, I had that coming. Let's do that one again just for old time's sake. Yeah. Thank you. I'll be here all night, unfortunately. At the end of the day, digital marketing really is all user experience. Now, there's a specific end of the creative teams for these companies called user experience, and it has to do with like the feel of a brand as you're navigating through their websites and stuff. But to me, the whole thing is user experience. It's start to finish how somebody is experiencing and interacting with your brand.
Well, I was just going to ask you, is that where beta testing comes in?
If you're... Okay, so like... I don't know if beta testing stretches past software or like really kind of like a lot of tech sort of stuff. I guess it does. Like you're always going to have iterations like demos. I mean, back in the day with music, like a demo is basically a beta test. Where you put out a slightly subpar version of the product that you're ultimately
going to
be mass releasing at some point.
And see how many people get a feel for it.
So I would say that the main purpose of beta testing is user feedback. With a beta test, what you're doing is you're putting the closest version to the final version of the product out to some people, and
Not
what
everybody.
you're doing is you're getting the feedback from those people. It's almost like
to work the bugs out.
It's almost like what they do with when they have those. I don't even know what they're called. It's horrible. I should know what this is, but when they have those rooms full of people.
Oh fuck!
That like,
God damn
it! I know it's so fucking easy too. I can't remember what the fuck it's called.
Group. Motherfucker.
No,
dude,
but it's
I know what you're talking about.
But it's that thing where they we're gonna run right into the fucking
the outro.
Oh no, yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out.
What do we do? Wait, we can pause it.
Yes, we can.
So I just hit
do
stop, right? Oh wait, no, pause.
Anyway, we just had so you're gonna hear a rough motherfucking edit on here, and
that was my fault.
Again, I'm gonna say that this is basically Kevin already recorded another podcast, but I guess we're calling this one 2.1 maybe.
Yeah.
Just because we're still getting used to this shit, right? Like we don't have a professional fucking studio engineer working with us like that, or an audio engineer, so we're still kind of rough here. But what happened was, we had last week when we did a podcast, it lasted around the time that we're looking at now, which is around 55 minutes. And we had the outro music stuck in Audacity for that point in time. So we've been shooting the shit so much that we ended up fucking running right into the outro music, and we had to get rid of it. And we thought we got rid of all of our fucking audio from this recording. So it almost got really fucking bad.
Oh,
but
I would be so upset.
Oh yeah, that would have sucked.
For a fucking... Do you hear that? That is inconsiderate motherfuckers right there.
Yep.
That's what that is.
Yep.
This is how you know we don't have an audio engineer, because I'm living in a house with jerk-offs.
With fucking jerk-offs. But, alright, I'm not going to get too much deeper with digital marketing, but the point is, like, really, like, a good brand and a smart brand, what they're going to do is they're going to...
Motherfucker, Fortnite.
They're gonna develop a personality, and they're gonna work off of that personality. And on top of that, I just remembered we were talking about beta testing, and I'm totally off base.
Yep.
Anyway, beta testing. The point of beta testing is to get that crucial feedback from a select number of you know that these are people that are you already know that they're going to like your product. If you're smart, you've developed personas, you've figured out your demographic, and you've given your beta keys or whatever it might be to your targeted demographic already. Yeah. So you know these are people that are actually going to want to interact with your product. So that's a very important part first. You don't go to a middle-aged housewife and say, "Hey, you want
this vacuum?"
Yeah, how about this cloud-based fucking music platform online?
Yeah.
Like you're not going to sell to her.
Yeah,
you're going to sell to a music enthusiast. You're going to sell to somebody that's a bit of a tech head, knows how to use tech.
Kids, yeah.
So then you get that feedback. You use that as a way to because they're also going to tell you what bugs they find. That's the biggest piece. The biggest piece of the feedback is going to be the bugs. So you listen to what people are saying about what's not working. You go and fix what's not working. You listen to what people say, what features they love the most and what features they don't enjoy, and then you prioritize your features before you release. So that's the purpose of beta testing, is you want to release according to what the grand consensus of feedback is that you get back from those people that use that beta version of your product.
feel like we're recording on the set of the Sunset Limited, man. All this screaming and yelling going on out there, and am I the only one that is freaking out right now that there's no blue lines? Sweating.
Yeah, no,
dude.
That's not great. There you go.
Okay.
There's your blue lines. We're fine.
Woo!
Yeah.
Bro, but my hands started sweating, dude. No shit. Dude. I just got really worried. It's like, oh no, it's all gone. What did I do?
I saw the scroll was at the bottom. It was on the inactive. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's the inactive track, buddy. You're okay.
Woo! I'm no shit. It's hot in here.
But anyway, yeah, I'm making a game called Skelattack. The gaming community sucks at large.
Yep.
What else we got here?
Listen, dude, go download that fucking demo, bro. And I'm not even listen. If you want to see the game, I'm an idiot.
He's pointing at you. He really wants to fight you right now.
Yeah. Get it. Listen, the game is really awesome. I played it on my YouTube channel. I would say if you're thinking about playing it and you want to see it first, only watch like a minute or two of it because I don't want the game to be spoiled for you. But if you don't go download this and play this game, you're out of your fucking mind. Because, look, I'm not a big gamer guy, but going through these levels and playing this game was a whole different experience from anything that I've messed with over the last few years, dude. And it was fucking fun.
That's great. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah.
And by the way, the only reason I moved on to Skelattack is just because I really do. I think we should cover off on like everything. Like I'd like to hit all these topics, you know.
Yeah.
Let's do Skelattack first because that's a friendly one.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to gaming community.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'll say about Skelattack, I'll do the hard sell right up front here. If you head over to www.skelattack.com, that's www.skelattack.com. You can download the Deado. You know what? That's actually pretty great because it's a skeleton.
And you were thinking about dead air. I think that's why you said
maybe that's what it was. I don't know. I'm thinking about all kinds of shit right now. You head over. You can download the demo if you put your email in there, and
they don't spam you. Real quick, let me cut you off. I don't know what I would call myself, but I downloaded the game, I played it, I put my email in. You know what I didn't get? My email spammed. Not one time.
Which, by the way, is us being shitty at our job as marketers. Like, we should totally be giving out more emails.
But the point is, it says we will never spam you. And for the first time in my life, I felt reluctant when I hit that button. But honestly, I have not been spammed.
Does it say that?
Yeah, it says we will only notify you.
I didn't know Shane
updates.
put that in. Oh, wow, that's great. Okay. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about us bombarding you with anything. Like, we'll just let you know if there's major updates. Which, by the way, segueing into the next part about Skelattack, this game, okay, so Shane and me and Yakuza in general, we've been working on this game now we're going on a year and 8 months as of February. But Dave has been working on it since 2015, so he's got almost 4 years in this game.
Oh, I got it right now.
That's fine. I'll talk about this for a second. What ended up happening was we came in and we changed a lot of the fundamental stuff about the game. Never the art. That's one thing that always stayed the same. Dave Stanley is an incredible artist. I mean, the thing that caught me about Skelattack when my company Yakuza picked it up, we started as a publisher, an indie publisher back in 2017. And when we got this game positioned to us by Dave, Shane sent it to me and he said, I want you to take a look at this game, tell me what you think, and see if maybe we should work with him. And I looked at some of the videos of Skelattack, and the thing that grabbed me right from the get-go, and it was the tiniest, most inconsequential little thing, but it was the fact that the main character, Scully the Skeleton, when he swung his sword, he would squint his eyes, like he was actually straining to swing the sword. And right off of that, I said, look, man, the guy obviously lives in this world in his head. If you're gonna remember to add eye straining when you swing a sword, you're in. Like, this is what you want to be doing. Like, there's no doubt about it. This guy has a true love for the work that he's doing. So that's what got us to pick up Skelattack. Now, I'll spare you the boring details, but jump a year and 8 months into the future, and you're looking at a game that is vastly different than its original form. The levels have been built out, levels have been added. Animations, NPCs, which are non-playable characters for those scoring at home, mechanics, obstacles, bosses, boss mechanics. Like, there's just been so much that has been added to this game. And what it's really been is just not... It hasn't been anything that kind of caused a core change to the world. Rather, it's been something that has just endlessly enhanced the world as we've been developing. Kevin opened a can of Monster. So I know you did, and that's why I called you out, because I'm a piece of shit. That's why I did it. He was like, "Yo, I'm gonna just slip right back in here." And,
I tried. He said, "Oh hell no, that's my butthole."
That's my butthole. You get out. Yeah. So like, what the name of the game has been for the longest time has been enhancements and skelattack. That's the actual name of the game. But where we are now, the main story has basically been just, it's a reverse dungeon crawler, right? So instead of being a human hero jumping into a dungeon, killing all the baddies, taking all the loot, and winning the day, this is the opposite version of that. So what you're doing is you're playing as one of the typical non-playable characters named Scully the Skeleton. He's an undead skeleton that lives down in the dungeon, and it's his job to drive the human heroes out of the dungeon to guard the treasure.
I wish I could plug the end to the game so bad, dude.
Really?
Yeah. That was the first, just when you started talking about it, I'm like, oh, I know the fucking story. I can talk about the end. And I can't, because I don't want to ruin it for you.
Wait, what? I'm curious what end you're talking about. There's no end yet.
The boss level, and then that bonus thing that's in the end where you can go through the doors where they have it.
Oh, that's no, that's no secret. Okay, so like, yeah, what Kevin's talking about is when you fight the bosses in skelattack, there's an enchantment in the dungeon that if you get killed by an enemy, you respawn at blue torches that are flecked throughout the dungeon. So that's an enchantment that was laid on all the dungeon denizens so that they could continuously and infinitely protect the dungeon.
Which I had to say, by the way, was a really good idea, because the first time that I got to what a difficult part was for me, and I was like, fuck, am I going to have to do this whole thing over again? And then when my guy popped right back up where it was, I was like, yeah, all right.
And we love that animation, him coming back together. But so what happens when you get into the boss levels, though, is the human bosses that you face, they have a magic that counteracts the enchantment in the dungeon.
It's hard.
So you can actually die permanently during a boss fight. And what happens is you end up in a purgatory of sorts.
That's what she said.
All right. With a guy named the Shepherd of the Damned, and he'll give you a choice. He'll say, okay, you can either continue in the fight, so you have to start the boss fight from the beginning, though. You're not getting any sort of like enhancements or anything. You literally just have to try again, try a different strategy. Or you can embrace oblivion and you can go all the way back to the beginning of the level, and you made no progress at that point.
Never say die, motherfucker. I didn't go back once.
Oh, really? Oh, never. Good. That's why you picked Return to the Fight the whole time?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm
that's
beating
really cool.
that guy. You're not putting me down, buddy. This is my dungeon, and I'm taking it back.
So our thinking with that was just like a lot of classic games had in the back in the day. That's our basically like our screen where it's continue ? Like they used to have on games where they'd give you a countdown.
Yeah, but that one was cool. I liked that the decisions are spaced out evenly enough to where when you're on your way to whatever decision you make, you have actual time to think about it.
Yep, absolutely.
And there's no time limit where you can sit there and really go, like, even if you, and I'm not, look, if you have to get up and pee, everybody has to pee. So if you happen to die in the middle of fighting a boss, you can get up and walk away for a second and come back.
Yep, yeah. So it's our clever little way of enforcing a retro rule in a modern game, which is like, Do you want to continue or do you want to quit the game for now? So it's just our little continue screen. But we love it. We're planning on building out that side of the story. We're going to give more personality to the Shepherd of the Damned. And rumor has it, with what we're currently working on in the game, we might make him an even more integral part to the story as a whole.
Oh, shit.
And that's what I wanted to... You're going to hear this news for the very first time tonight.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so... What's been happening is we've basically gone back in, and Shane and I, I'll let you know that we took direction of the game under our wings exclusively.
Right.
So this is something, and Dave Stanley has been doing fucking incredible work on the technical design of this game.
But a fresh pair of eyes never hurt anybody.
It's not even that, man. It's not even a fresh pair of eyes. We're taking the visuals that he's created that we literally fell in love with and caused us to work on this game for almost 2 years now. And what we're doing is we're saying, Dave, do what you fucking do best. Continue working on the visuals. We're going to take the story. We're going to take the mechanics. We're going to take the characters. We're going to build that part out. And when we do, we're going to hand you bits and pieces of it so that you can work on it. And literally, we're doing it to make sure he has all of the time in the world to continue doing this incredible fucking design work that he's been doing, but at a pace that is friendly and in a way that he doesn't have to sit there and rack his fucking brain.
Well, yeah, because the last thing you want to do is rush the artist.
Oh my God,
artwork.
Exactly. And that is really, that's our fault, right? Like we what we ended up doing was we kind of ran a disjointed show for the first year and 8 months. Like,
yeah, but that's it's the whole point of the business venture. Mm-hmm. You're going to learn as you go along.
But it helps nobody if you have nothing but creatives working on a game. You need somebody that's business minded.
You gotta have the structure guy.
I will say, Shane tried like hell to make the logistics happen, but and he would even admit to this. Initially, what it ended up being was a fly-by-night sort of thing where it was just like, okay, here's a project management platform we can use to keep track of all of our work. Here's our Slack channel. Here's our Discord channel to be able to communicate with one another and let each other know what we're covering off on.
And Twitter too, by the way.
Well, that's our separate, that's our social channel where we're doing crowd engagement and audience growth and things like this. At skelattack, by the way, if you want to take a look at that. But what we're talking about now is we're talking about a whole revamping, not just of skelattack and the story behind it and the way that the game is going to play, and even like the visual enhancements we want to add to it, but also our design strategy process. So we're now getting into some real nitty gritty shit. There was a lot of stuff where it was like, okay, you have to have a governor on this particular engine, stop at a certain speed because we have to deal with limitations. And those limitations really came down to people's day jobs, people's ability to cover off on not only designing, not only storytelling, but also having to wear all the hats that were needed to wear in the company to get this shit done. Now we're going to be developing a streamlined process. I'm not going to get too much more into this because it's very boring, but suffice it to say, what it's allowing us to do is really beef out this story. Shane and I just worked on a fucking killer intro to this game.
Oh, I'm excited.
And when it gets fleshed out, and then when you're moving, there's going to be this whole new level of cohesion to everything you're seeing. There's going to be a depth of story. There's going to be stories branching off of stories. There's going to be quests branching off of quests. Like, we're not thinking in any sort of box anymore. What we're instead allowing ourselves to do is think extremely big, and then if we need to, depending on limitations, depending on budgeting and stuff, scale down slightly so that we have something a little tiny bit more realistic based on what we have at our disposal as far as resources are concerned. But I am letting you know, we are not hardcore looking at scaling down anything. Matter of fact, what we're looking at doing is adding. That is our big mission here. And so skelattack, everything we've been promoting on Twitter, everything we've been promoting on Steam, anytime we've spoken to press, anytime we've released a press release, every time we've released a video, every time somebody's played the demo, every time we've done a beta test, no matter what we've done, it is all going to look different by the end of this. Now, I don't mean it's going to look different. David Stanley's fantastic, gorgeous fucking art is still going to be the main driver of what's going to compel people. It's the story. It's the story, the way the story plays out, the environmental mechanics, how the environment is going to have a lot to do with.
Really good at that.
Dude, thank you so much. Like, I added reverb. I didn't even know I could do that. I screamed into your closet. I screamed into your girlfriend's asshole to get that reverb effect. Yeah, what that's nice. So we'll never be able to use this clip on Twitter. Anyway,
we cut that part out.
Cut that part out. God damn it. What we're really doing is we want to create an experience that is either unmatched or in exact parallel to other incredible fucking 2D titles that have come out. We want you to jump into this world and never want to leave.
Well, dude, I mean, honestly, the little bit that I was exposed to the story by playing the demo, it didn't feel like a demo. Like, the entire time that I was playing the game, I kept going, oh man, I hope it's not the end, I hope it's not the end. But at the same time, I want to see the end because I want to know that I can get to it. Okay. Just the things that were involved in the game and going through all of it, not wanting to rush the story, actually taking the time to read what was being written out. It really gave me...
Are you talking about like the lore or the dialogue?
Everything. Okay, the whole nine, dude. Everything just went so good together, and I like the ability to throw myself into a storyline in a game and not rush through it to get through all the action and just appreciate what is there. And I'm not saying all this and being facetious. I really do mean it, dude. Like, I have at nauseum told people to go and check this game out because I want everybody to at least have given it a shot, a chance. Because this, I feel like this is different from anything else that is out there right now. Like, you can see that there is time and passion put into this project, unlike, and kill me if you want to, but the Fortnites of the world that just seem to be reiterating the same shit over and over again. This is different. Yeah. And it has that feel to it. When you put this in, dude, you're in the mind of a mom and pop shop owner.
Oh, that's so great.
That's really is what it is.
I love hearing that. You're talking about that homegrown sort of like...
Yeah, you can tell the difference, dude. Yeah, like, there's actual love and care that's put into this fucking game, man.
Yeah. Oh, well, you're going into the stuff I don't like about the gaming industry. I really feel like that there's a lack of authenticity now, but I'm not going to get negative. You know what? This has been such a positive conversation. So anyway, I'm not going to do this. This isn't, by the way, I'm not trying to do this to plug skelattack. This is just something...
Nope, I wrote it down specifically because I wanted to bring up Fortnite, and I thought because I love this game so much, and you know about the game, obviously, from your involvement in it, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to segue both of these things together, and plus it gives me an excuse to make it as big as I possibly can to get as many people as I can to fucking download it, so maybe we could talk about it when I get the fuck out there.
And let me tell you something. I know I already kind of touched on it, but I'm going to touch on it one more time. What you see now in the demo, expect it to be completely different by the time the game gets released. It is not going to hold any similarity to the demo like we thought it was. I'm not going to lie to anybody. We thought we were getting comfortable and allowing ourselves to get to the home stretch of the game. We really thought we were there, but then we decided, we were like, you know what? There needs to be more. There absolutely has to be more to this. We want the dungeon to be so much more full and vibrant and fun. And so what you're going to see when this game actually gets released, that's the part, as one of the people on the development team, that's the part I really can't wait for you to see. But what we have in the demo is definitely aesthetically representative of what you're going to see at launch. This is hand-drawn. All of it start to finish is hand-drawn by David Stanley. I'm going to give a quick shout-out, actually, to everybody that's working on the Yakuza team. I work mostly as the marketing guy on the Yakuza team. My technical title is Director of Brand Strategy. Oh shit, I'm wrong about that. Jesus, I'm the director of content strategy. I'm so sorry. And I've also helped write some of the dialogue for skelattack. Big shout out.
When you get to the big words, that's how you know he did it.
I noticed the parts on which you stumbled the most on your playthrough. You're like, I don't know how to fucking say that. I'm like, that's my fault. So yeah, that's my piece. Shout out to Shane Delamo. He's the CEO of Yakuza, the company that's ultimately developing skelattack. And what a logistical fucking mind, and also a creative. He's a man that's been able to grab from both of those worlds and just help develop out this story so beautifully. David Stanley, I mean, it's fucking Dave. Like, Dave is the guy that gives you Scully. He gave you Ember. Every fucking creature, every character in that dungeon, every background that you see, every foreground that you see, the coloring, that's all Dave. He is the absolute mastermind of the technical visuals behind this fucking game, and he is an incredible fucking artist.
I was gonna say he's also, and part of the reason what makes it so fun to plug this game is the fact that he is a really genuine fucking nice guy.
Oh, he's salt of the earth, man.
Like
he's salt of the earth.
I put up the skelattack gameplay on my YouTube channel just because I wanted to show it to everybody. Yeah. And he went out of his way to comment on the video, which is really Dave. Cool of him to do. He didn't have to do that.
No, Dave, I'll tell you, even from my interactions when we were at PAX South, PAX East, it doesn't matter where we ever were or any of the interviews that he's ever been involved in, he takes time to talk to everybody. He gets really, really in-depth. He'll stand right next to you and he'll have a private conversation with you in a sea of people that want to talk to him. Definitely. Like, he takes time and he is genuinely passionate about this game. It's wonderful seeing him work. I'm going to give a shout out to Jason Margoon. He's another one of the programmers for skelattack here. He's working on the platforming mechanics. He's working on actual level layout and things like this. So he's basically Dave's second-hand man when it comes to designing out the game. He's been doing such a fucking great job with this game, and we couldn't be more proud of him and happy to be working with him. There's even a chance we're going to be bringing some new people on to even lessen the load even more on Dave and to add their little touches to it so that we can expand out some of the visuals and things. Yeah, I couldn't be more proud of what we've done with Yakuza. We've grown, we've become smarter about all this over time, and there's just...
It's one of the few mom and pop operations left, dude. I kind of feel like... And I know, look, it probably sounds like a broken record and you think I'm bullshitting you, but as an outsider looking in, man, I don't really feel like there's a whole lot of companies that actually listen to what the feedback is from the people and actually devote themselves into a fucking project that needs to be talked about more, because these people are raising the bar.
So we are, like, what we're doing, we're developing out this really organic feeling and really real feeling authentic game. But I will let you know, too, behind the scenes, it's a lot of pro-level processes, and that's because you have people on the team that have worked with Microsoft, Amazon, fucking Tom's Hardware, Game Revolution, the U.S. Army, that have topped the charts of Apple's bestseller lists for mobile gaming and stuff. Like, there are true industry pros that are working on this game. Yeah. But we are using, the very first thing we're using is our hearts with all of this.
Yeah.
So, like, it comes from the heart. And it's logistically laid out through the mind. That's, like, really what Yakuza is. And, yeah, stay tuned for skelattack, man, because we're fucking working hard. And by the end of this, we're going to be delivering an exceptional and unforgettable experience.
Dude, I am so pumped. I am so pumped to be able to buy this shit when it comes out, dude. I really want to play it, man. And I'm not even, look, I don't know how to be disingenuous, whatever. I can't say the fucking word, let alone be the damn word I'm trying to say. So you don't have to worry about that. I would not be up here promoting something that I didn't fucking believe in and I did not have a genuinely good time playing. Yeah. Go download that shit. What are you doing? You can listen to this while you play that.
Yeah, please. We have I guess kids to feed somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll just find a kid.
Yeah, we can
throw a stale donut down its throat. I don't know, just to make it authentic.
I'm an inner kid. I have an inner child.
Oh, I don't. That thing's fucking dead and in the corner. It's turning gray. Anyway,
stick it in a jar.
Yeah. I hope you like your inner child pickled. Because that's what you're getting. Getting a sad little gherkin. But yeah, so I don't know. Like, you know, I'll be dead honest. I don't know that I want to cover the gaming community. Because, like, okay.
So you know what? Then we don't have to.
Yeah, like, it's only because...
Going from something so good to so shitty.
Well, it's not even just that. It's that it really is. There's a line down the middle, right? Because you really do. You have good and bad.
Yeah.
The gaming community that I tend to. Well, I don't know. Am I picking? I'm not picking a community, but like, okay, the side of the gaming community that I enjoy are the enthusiasts, the fucking hardcore nerds, the ones that are like they pick apart everything they see in a scene. And just like they just love talking about what they love playing. Those are the good ones. The ones you have on the fucking other end are the ones that all they do is complain about this incredible. And I'll tell you, I did not have this fucking perspective until I started working on games.
Yeah,
I did not have. I didn't like these people. Fully, like, I've always known I didn't like them.
Because you could tell the difference between somebody actually giving a real critique and somebody just being an asshole.
So, well, you know what it was to me all the time is spoiled baby syndrome.
Yeah.
Like, these people, they get a fucking incredible game on the market. My favorite example, and so many people are going to disagree with me if they hear this, is the community that surrounded and then took a steaming dump on No Man's Sky when it was initially released. Now, I'm going to give everybody their just desserts when it comes to the initial release. No Man's Sky...
I don't know what that is.
Was a dumpster fire. It was
that air was intentional.
It was a dumpster fire of the highest regard. It delivered on 0% of the promises that were delivered pre-launch. The visuals, they even showed videos that looked like something out of fucking Jurassic Park 10.
Oh,
like
you mean like how I hate to bring it back to mobile, but like how they give you a trailer of something that looks like the shit and you get in the game and it's fucking Minecraft?
No, and the reason I say it's worse than that is because people kind of know, like when you look at, for instance, the videos for Clash of Clans.
Yeah, you know
that's not going to happen on your fucking stupid Samsung. Like, you know you're not going to get that kind of fidelity.
Yeah.
I'm talking about with him, he was like, look at this vibrant planet we just landed on, and it was like all this blowing individual blades of grass, and a thing that was the size of, what are those dinosaurs with the really long necks, and they're huge.
Yeah.
Is it Brontosaurus?
I think so. Pretty sure.
I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, like, looking at, and they were, the faces on them, they looked like real creatures, and like all the things running past them like almost in a stampede.
Oh,
and
shit.
These
so wait, it really had dinosaurs in it?
And vividly, well, I call them dinosaurs. They're really aliens because you're landing on an alien planet.
Oh.
But then the game comes out.
Oh, no.
And the things that you see. So the whole thing about that was impressive, well, partially impressive about No Man's Sky, is every planet that you land on, if you're the first guy landing on that planet, actually, if you're the first one flying into the system in which that planet is, it's generating as you fly in. It's called procedural generation. It didn't exist until you flew into it.
Right.
So it's literally a computer code making this thing a planet as you fly in.
Yeah.
Then as you fly into the atmosphere, it's actually procedurally generating all the terrain, all the creatures, all the plants, everything.
Yeah.
When that was happening, when the game first came out, you were getting things like that looked like fucking garbage. And I'm talking about on a level that there was no excuse for what it was creating with how modern games look. I'm gonna boil this all down because I want to keep this short. But like, suffice to say, people did not get the game delivered to them that they were promised.
Yeah.
But instead of listen, now here's where I'm going to defend Hello Games, the developer of No Man's Sky, and Sean Murphy.
This ought to be really interesting to see you turn this on around.
Now let me fucking tell you how I'm going to turn it around.
Yeah.
How I'm going to turn it around is Hello Games never made it a secret that they were going to be patching and upgrading and updating the game
they released
after it released.
Okay.
They said they were going to be continuously doing that. Like, it was never a fucking secret.
So they never said, here's the finished product, you should have no problem whatsoever.
No, they said here's the finished product, but they didn't, you know what? No, I take that back. They didn't say here's the finished product. They said here's the product. This is what it is right now. You're going to see the updates roll out over time.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening is people had such an ostentatiously negative response to the initial release that what Hello Games ended up having to essentially do is fucking scramble to roll these updates out and to improve the visuals and stuff.
But that's just going to make it worse. You can't rush the art process.
That's absolutely not true. They did not do it at a pace that ended up fucking them. I mean, they were scrambling to I guess you could say verbally right the wrong, and like they were immediately listening to people.
Okay.
Like Sean Murphy he sort of dropped off the map a little bit, but who the fuck wouldn't if you have millions of people looking to gun you down? You know what I mean? Like, so he kind of took a hiatus, and I know for a fact I don't know for a fact. I'm not going to pretend I was there, but I know it was a working hiatus because guess fucking what? Gen 2 of No Man's Sky happened. All the updates rolled out. The game improved on such a fucking crazy level. Now, let me tell you what kind of fucking tenacity and determination and steel resolve it takes to continue developing those updates to eventually release them into the original version of the game to make the game better. Through all of these people talking endless shit and not appreciating what it fucking took to make the game in the first place. So that's what pisses me off.
He basically released the first game, and while they were shitting on him, he basically ducked out and made the second one. Like, okay, keep talking shit.
There was No Man's Sky 2. That's not what I'm talking about. An update to the game that was released.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. That's probably my fault. It's not a sequel. He told everybody, okay, we're going to be working on updates to this game. We got a bunch of patches coming. We're listening to your feedback, and we're going to get to all that stuff.
But they want it right now.
And that right there is the fucking mentality of the gaming community that I can't stand. It's, Mommy, I want it now. It's a bunch of fucking Veruca Salts running around begging for fucking goose eggs. Every goddamn one of them. You do not get to do that until you know what goes into making a fucking game. I am saying that shit. You have no fucking clue how hard this shit is. Dude, we're not even... This is talking about... Okay, you know what No Man's Sky is? It's a 3D sandbox open world procedurally generated space simulator / action adventure shooter. Are you going to remember any of what I just said? No.
No.
Do you know what skelattack is? 2D action platformer. You think you can remember that?
Yeah. Well,
a lot less complicated. There's about 6 less fucking words in it. And it's still hard to make that fucking game. Think about what it took for Sean Murphy and Hello Games to make No Man's Sky. As an independent studio. Not a AAA-backed studio.
Oh, they were out by themselves just like you guys.
Indie studio, just like us. Just like us.
Well, you know what, dude?
It wasn't the Ubisofts of the world. It wasn't the Blizzards. It wasn't the Bethesdas, Rockstars. Nope. It was a totally, at that time, basically unknown studio that created No Man's Sky. And one man's vision, Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy made that whole fucking thing in his head first.
So I think what is basically happening is that people are not appreciating that they're looking for big name products out of a small name company, and now that's not saying if
well, they got promised a big name product.
That's true.
So that's the credence that they get. Okay, that's where they get my understanding. But where they don't get my understanding is there is no. I understand what a game is. Okay, what the fuck is a game? Not only is it an escape, it's a form of gratification. You're getting pleasure. Your serotonin's getting released off of playing the game. I get it. It's a gratification thing. But gaming, with where it's gone and how technical it's become, you can't really have that instant gratification anymore. Sometimes a fucking game comes out and it is so perfect right off the fucking bat that, like, it's incredible. But when I first saw No Man's Sky and I saw what it was up against, I knew that this was a game that was going to end up becoming a hit. It was a PR fucking phenomenon. I mean, they did great with their marketing leading up to the launch of the game. It's the fact that they didn't deliver on expectations that ended up fucking them. Yeah. But I knew even when I saw this rough ass game when it came out as its original version,
that was going to be good.
It was going to turn into a really good game. I fucking knew it from the beginning. Now you go and look at No Man's Sky in 2019. You play that fucking game, I will defy you to voluntarily leave that world in an hour. I will defy you. If you want to turn that game off after an hour of play, you're the most just intolerant person on the planet. It is so fucking rich and wonderful and beautiful and involved. It doesn't feel isolated and solitary anymore like V1 did, because you didn't even have the ability to have real true multiplayer. In version 2, they fixed the multiplayer debacle to where you could actually play with other people. Let me tell you something, until you're playing No Man's Sky and you're standing on a fucking planet and you're watching one of your buddies' ships break through the atmosphere and land next to you, you have not fucking lived.
That sounds pretty cool.
The shit is amazing. It is never not amazing. Like, the game has become such a fucking star in gaming.
Yeah.
And you know what? Everybody was like, okay, well, nobody gives a shit, right? Because Star Citizen is going to be coming out. Nobody gives a shit because Elite Dangerous is already out. These are comparable games. They're open world space simulators.
Okay, because I've never heard of either of these things.
They're very comparable games. And Elite Dangerous, you're flying around, you're looking at fucking planets, you're exploring, you're trading, you're doing all kinds of fun shit. It's like a better version of EVE Online almost, I would say. Then you have Star Citizen, which isn't out yet, but it got backed for like fucking $60 million like a couple of years back, and it is going to be the game that ends all other space simulations. Like, you're able to walk through a base, walk into your ship, walk through all the different corridors of your ship, walk to the captain's deck, sit down in the captain's chair, take the ship, take off, fly out of the atmosphere of a planet, fly into space, hyperdrive through space, find another planet, land by going into the atmosphere, land at that base, go through your ship again, walk through the fucking base and go up to terminals and talk to people. Like, it's going to be indistinguishable from real life, just about.
That's crazy.
Dude, the version of the game that's currently out, one of the stations that you can land on, and I'm very sorry, I can't remember the name of the planet or the base that you're in. It's a station, you walk around and there's a fucking subway station. You have to walk down the stairs into the subway, get on the subway, and it literally takes you through an entire living city.
That is crazy.
Like, it's fucking insane. Holy shit, this was supposed to be about No Man's Sky. But, like, that's my point. Like, nobody's expecting anything to be as good as Star Citizen if and when it gets released. But if you heard that, I said if.
Yeah.
Because right now, it's not released. Like, it's still taking fucking forever from them to finally launch this game.
Well, that's because that's a really,
it's a massive undertaking.
Yeah.
But you know what? There is something about getting to market first. Now, No Man's Sky got to market before Star Citizen did.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky improved its play experience as Star Citizen has still been in development.
Right, so they're essentially setting the bar in their own way. Like, we had it, we dropped it, and now we're fixing it again. So now the pressure is on
they're
you
fucking
even
killing
more.
It. Yes, they're killing it, man. Like, Elite Dangerous and No Man's Sky are both doing really well. So now when Star Citizen comes out, it has to be what Chinese democracy was supposed to be according to everyone for Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, dude, like, what a tie-in that was. Look at you,
dude, straight up, it has the Chinese democracy complex on it now, which is people's expectations are going to be so fucking high that they're almost
never
doomed.
going to live up to it.
Yeah, they're almost doomed to get fucked. So, like, it's going to be very interesting, but I will say it's looking fucking amazing. I had the sincere pleasure of meeting Chris Roberts, the fucking head of Cloud Imperium Games, and oh my god, I can't remember the other company. I'm so bad. Cloud Imperium. I'll just keep it at Cloud Imperium Games. He originally developed Wing Commander 2, all these fucking amazing games back in the day, and now he's the guy that's making Star Citizen, along with his incredible fucking team that's working on this game. I am still very excited. I bought a $250 fucking ship package for the game because I'm obsessed with space sims, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. But like, the overarching point is the gaming community was so fucking unforgiving about about No Man's Sky V1. Kevin's getting to watch me freak out in real time while I'm talking about this. So unforgiving about No Man's Sky V1, and still Sean Murphy and the rest of the Hello Games team pushed through all these updates and made the game even fucking better. Like, that is a testament to the true emotional strength of a game dev team. It takes so much fucking out of you. I'm not kidding. It is so goddamn stressful doing this stuff, but we all stay in it for the same reason that Sean Murphy did through all that horribly negative criticism. We fucking love it. It is genuinely a child to us. This is something that we're raising and nurturing.
Yeah, you have to have the passion for it, I think, to do it, and it shows in your project whether you have it or not. Because if you don't, you will see it in the end result. Yeah. Which, if you were not able to tell, somebody that is not passionate about something does not get that hyped about it, dude.
It's a lot. But my overarching thing, I keep saying overarching. I got to stop using that word. It's way too much.
Every time you say overarching, I think about McDonald's. How much of a fucking subliminal mindfuck
Give in to the culture. Anyway.
Fuck you and your food poison.
My final point on it is this.
No.
Why am I doing it?
Because it sounded like you were going to break into an Arnold when you were swallowing and speaking at the same time.
Man, that's one of my many talents, man. Anyway, swallowing and speaking at the same time. How do you like that?
That's what he said. That is what he said. I don't know where I was.
I'm just watching the dead air. I just wanted to. I liked how the line got really small. Anyway, my final point on all this is this. There's no true. I don't have any like real preoccupying hate of the gaming community. It's just that I wish they took the time. If they took any time to, and a lot of them do, by the way. I'm not taking it away from the ones that do, but like the ones that don't pay attention to what these developers go through during the development process. When you come at it with this like, but I want it to be perfect now. Like when you have that attitude, it sucks for us. Like, I'm not kidding. And by the way, knock on fucking wood, not a single person that has ever spoken out in support of skelattack has ever treated us like that. Yeah. They have never been like, come on, man, when's the fucking game coming out? Like, let's go.
Well, that's because you're not going to get those people until after it's probably already out. Luckily for you, the people that are really invested in the game are probably the ones that are coming forth. And the real supporters, the advocates of what you're doing. Yeah.
Dude, I can't, there are so many fucking shout outs I would give if I could faithfully give them just by remembering everything. But
you
like
need a 6-page album cover art book of just people to write out, to shout out to.
People like the 16-bit couple, Ryoko and her husband, Venge, fucking Undisabled, like a lot of these people that have become fans of the game.
What's that like?
Over this time, like dude, they're not just fans. I remember Ryoko created plushies for us, not plushie, I'm sorry, cross stitches of Ember the Bat.
Oh shit!
That we were able to bring with us to PAX South to actually give out as a giveaway and stuff to people that were visiting the booth. She didn't get paid.
I'll tell you this, bro. You guys put hoodies out. I want one, man.
But the point here is like the fans did that because they love what we're doing
so much.
And I'm telling you,
I can see it becoming a cult classic very easily.
It blew us the fuck away. We couldn't believe it. And then I will never forget. We had a guy come up to us. I don't remember if this was at South. It was at South. It was at PAX South in San Antonio in 2018. We had a guy come up to the fucking booth and he asked for our autographs.
That's crazy.
And I was like, I'm not doing that. I was like, not because I was unwilling. By the way, I did. I gave him my fucking autograph, but I was like,
you're like, who the fuck am I?
I was like, I'm letting you know right now that most weeks I can't even afford fast food. Like, this is the least valuable autograph you've ever received.
That'd be like somebody coming up to me in ShopRite being like, hey, bro, I listened to the podcast. I really like what you guys are doing.
And you know what? What ended up happening off of that, this is kind of a sad story. It's sad to me. I don't know if it's going to be sad to anybody else. But, like, the guy that ended up asking for my autograph
died in a car crash.
Oh, my God. Jesus, no. No, we ended up speaking, like, while we were at the booth. And I was like, yeah, I ended up, like, I basically reiterated the story the way I'm telling you here. Like, I was like, yeah, I told the guy, like, this is the least valuable autograph you're ever going to have. And the guy overheard it. And he came over and he said,
No.
Well, you know, I wanted to get it because my kid really wanted your guys' autographs. And, dude, I started silently fucking crying. Like, I was like, that is the coolest, most humbling, most beautiful fucking... Like,
that kid doesn't.
He doesn't give a shit if I'm working on this on like and I'm struggling day to day. He sees me as a guy that just worked on a cool fucking game that he likes.
That brings you back to the basics of it all.
Yeah, man.
Where it doesn't matter. Like, you're a fucking hero to that kid, regardless of whether you make it big or not. You can argue that your fame can start and end right there.
This kid didn't care because, like, I remember too during that conversation, I told the guy, I was like, if you really want an autograph, you want it from Dave. He's the guy that like designed out the game. Like, he's the one that's responsible for all the animation you're seeing, and the iteration of the game as it exists. But all this kid saw was 3 people at a booth working on this game together, and he wanted all of our autographs because, dude, I'm telling you, I'm close to having tears in my eyes right now talking about it.
Yeah.
Because he came at it with the fucking energy that I think everybody should come at stuff with.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, you worked on that shit? That's awesome, dude. Keep it up.
Yeah.
That is the most encouraging thing I've gotten from anybody working on this game, was some little kid's dad coming up to me and vicariously asking for my autograph.
That's awesome, though, man.
Fucking kills me to this day talking about it. It was the most amazing moment of my fucking life. I'm not kidding.
Well, now that you said it, I feel like I need to put this out in the universe. Wherever he is, I hope he's walking around with both his legs and his arms are fine.
Yeah, me too. Me too, man.
Jesus Christ. I was only trying to make a offhanded joke to try to lighten it up, but my God.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Fucking
No, but now I feel bad because, you know, the kids involved and everything else. I feel like,
fine.
You know.
Yeah. No, it's all good. But, yeah, like this, so that's been the overarching thing is like, I did it again. I said overarching. Motherfucker, I hate that. I'm gonna hyper focus on that, and I'm getting rid of that word now.
I just realized that I did that when I did a pre-record, and I said granted.
I remember. Yeah, I remember
like,
saying that.
Wow.
Yeah, no, we all got that. It's called word vomit.
Is it?
Yeah, it's called word vomit, where like you regurge the same words over and over.
Gross.
But oh my God! All right, and that's the next topic. How Kevin's like totally not okay with puking in any way.
Ugh.
It's dude. I found your arch nemesis in album form.
Oh my God.
Okay, this is a pointless story. I don't know why the fuck I'm telling this right now, but just okay. What you got to know is Kevin is literally repulsed by puking. And I'm not talking the normal, like, ew, that's puke. I'm talking, like,
bad.
Not
right
only...
now,
I'm talking about it, and he's getting heated.
Yeah, like dude, that, I can't.
It only takes talking about it, really.
Yeah.
So this is going to kill you. No,
fuck, dude, I can't.
You're fine. I'm telling it's not going to be that bad. Anyway, there's back in, I want to say 2007, 2008, I went to see Skinny Puppy live, which is one of my favorite industrial bands of all time. They're incredible. And it was for their Great or Wrong of the Right tour. And they just so happened to be touring with an artist called Otto von Schirach at the time. I don't know how to describe Otto von Schirach. I would put him probably in the breakcore genre. So like along the lines of bands like Venetian Snares and shit. But what and he had a great set, by the way. The set was fucking amazing, and he's super creative. Like, he's nuts. He's got like wires all over the fucking place. He even had like this little like orange chip thing that he kept in his teeth, and what he would do is when he would scratch his teeth, it would make sounds on a synthesizer.
No,
not teeth scratching sounds.
No, I know. I think I know where you're going with this.
No, it has nothing to do with that thing. I'm just letting you know how creative the dude is.
Okay.
But there is a point at which, okay, now I'm getting into it. There is a point at which things become, let's say, too creative. And you develop a concept album that's perhaps fucking horrible.
No.
I'm not playing it. I am not going to do that to you, but I got to remember the name of the album, so I'm going to look it up really quick. He came out with an album, I think it was actually directly after the album that he was promoting at that Skinny Puppy show. And the album was called, let me see if I can find it. Give me a second here. The album is, it's literally called Pukeology. And the entire album is just differently modulated and pitched samples of somebody puking.
Nope. Nope. I gotta walk out of the room for a second. This is not a game.
Dude, he can't even talk about puking. Alright, I'm done. I'm not going to talk about it again. But I'm not going to talk. That's my overarching point. Out there in the universe somewhere, there is somebody that could legitimately be considered Kevin's arch nemesis, and it's because he created that album.
Fuck him.
Like, it would, and by the way, I don't think I didn't listen to it. I did. You would make it 1/1,000,000th of a second into the first track before you were jumping out the window to get away from it.
Nope.
It is, guess what? To me, that's not bothered by it. I was bothered by it within 30 seconds.
Damn.
It is repulsive. Like,
That's disgusting.
Horrible.
That's disgusting.
But anyway.
I was in a fucking great mood before. This is terrible.
All right, maybe this is. Do you want to cut it here? Where are we at? We're at
150.
Holy shit! We went almost 2 hours on this bitch.
Well, dude, this is like a fucking regular conversation.
This. I'll tell you right now, and I know this isn't for the audience. It's really weird that I'm talking outside of the audience. This was the most fun I've had in a very long time. Doing something. So.
Definitely, dude. It doesn't. It's almost like the microphone and the computer are just things that are sitting in the room, like they serve no purpose. You just sat in on a regular conversation. Yeah. So how good do you feel?
Oh man, that was incredible. I really enjoyed this. All right, so I guess we're gonna close out our second episode of Trainwreck.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So anybody that ended up listening, thank you so much, Kevin. Go for it, man. Like.
Yeah, dude. Appreciate it as always, man. The links for the Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitch, YouTube, all in the sidebar. This is the second installment. Many more to come. This is a really fun thing to do, and it breaks up the monotony of YouTube.
For sure.
And here, at least, I can have my opinion. I can say what I want to say, and I don't feel that pressure.
Yeah.
So, that's always a good thing. But I know that hopefully, when you're listening to this, it's getting you through your drive to work, your train, wherever it is you're going, when you gotta walk wherever you have to go. Definitely the fact that you guys are putting this on, like you were talking about with Skelattack and that kid with his autograph, when people tell me that they're putting on my videos while they're fucking working and shit, dude, it
means the world to you. It's crazy.
Dude, some guy just fucking hit me up in a comment a little bit before you got here and was like, "Hey man, you have people from Scotland." Like, what? This is fucking.
Yeah, when you're getting fucking nationality reps and stuff, like people, nationality shout outs are crazy. They're like, "Yo, Czech Republic." You're like, what the fuck,
dude? Like,
that's awesome, man. That's
so
great.
Cool, man. But dude, check out all that stuff, bro. We will keep you updated with whatever we have going on. I mean, this is the odd part where this is the part where I'm supposed to plug the YouTube and all the other things.
I'll do it, dude. Fuck that. I'll take over so it's not weird.
Yeah.
Go and check out Jack of One Trade on YouTube. That's JACK 0 F the number 1 TRADE. He's got tons of fucking reaction videos on there. We're talking metal, we're talking hip hop, we're talking the weirdest shit you can imagine. He's pumping out new content every day. So go check out the channel, give it a like, give it a subscribe, make sure to follow him and see what he's up to. Thank you guys so much for sitting in on the Trainwreck podcast, episode number 2, and we will see you next week.
I was just about to say we'll be crashing at you next week. How bad is that?
Well, it's a good thing you didn't, but then you did.
I am what happens when you don't pull out. All right.
All right.